Hey everybody! Today is our normal posting day, but a bunch of my video accidentally got deleted when I was editing it. Not sure what I did there, so just making this one to put up really quick because I don't want to disappoint anybody. When I was a kid, I had an adult figure in my life that tried to, I don't want to say rule, that sounds whatever, but I don't really want to classify it as parenting either. Tried to keep control of kids by fear. And I know some people that is their parenting style. And oh, it's so not right. I can tell you when that person stopped being around my life, and then I met another person that had a bigger temper but never made me feel afraid, like a little light bulb clicked. And I'm thinking, with this first person, they were like 6'2", and I was a 5-year-old kid, and you're trying to rule me by fear? Like, how unfair is that? You know, oh, and it made me so mad. And I was maybe a preteen when that clicked. I mean, especially I was afraid of that temper because it got physical. And then when I met this new person with the bigger temper, but that made sure I was always safe. It didn't matter with the new person how upset he was. He would make sure I was not afraid. And to just see that huge difference, it made me mad. And to this day, when I get afraid, it's not long after I get mad. One, as just part of a reaction, but two, because I learned a very valuable lesson from all that. So there was a good time in my childhood. I was afraid a lot. Shocking, right? Like, ruled by fear and people are afraid, right? And when I learned not to be afraid, I I got mad first, like I said, but then I realized that you could use anger as a tool. Now, if you're somebody who's already like angry all the time, don't do this. You have to get your anger under control before you can use it as a tool. Just like any tool. Like, you can't go out, with a power tool and just start going all over. It's got to be controlled. But when something has you really scared or really sad, and sometimes there's a time to be sad. Okay, I don't want to get out. Maybe we'll go with scared or depressed, or I don't know. We'll just stick with scared. That works for my analogy. Something gets you scared. Get mad. It's a good tool to stop that. One of my teenagers was scared from a person at school, and they were unstable and had threatened things. And it wasn't a unwarranted fear, but it was becoming a paralyzing fear. And I told my kid, I said, get mad. Get mad. How dare they make you afraid? How dare they devalue your feelings and not listen to what you say? How dare they? Get mad. And then you can find a motivation from that to get help, to speak up, maybe to fight back, depending on the situation. But when you're in fear, you're froze. And nothing's going to change. It usually gets worse if you stay frozen in fear. So if you're stuck and you're afraid and you're not sure what to do, try getting mad. See if you can get yourself mad enough to move, to unstick yourself from where you are. It is such a very, very valuable tool. And, sometimes I think it's so unfair that when I was so little, I had somebody try to scare me so much into being what they wanted me to be instead of actually caring or parenting or trying. But a lot of the times I look back and I think, what a valuable lesson that was. Because I learned early on when and how to let myself get angry enough to use that as motivation and to move forward. But again, like I said, if you are prone to anger, you can't do this until you can completely control your anger. If you are naturally an angry person, why don't you go a while without getting angry? First, get control of that anger, because that's your first tool, is self-control. Because you can't use it as a tool if you can't control it. But if you're scared and you're not sure how to move forward, let yourself get mad. Think if it was somebody else. And that was one of the things with my teenager when they were very afraid and I was trying to get through to them to try to change things. I said, what would you do? I named their best friend. I said, what would you do if it was happening to this person? And they said, I would help them. I would get them help. I would tell them to seek help. And why aren't you worth that? Let's get mad about that. How dare that person make you feel like you're not worth that? Get mad. Correctly. If you missed Tuesday's video, we're going to be changing our posting schedule. We've been doing Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, and we're going to be going to Wednesday and I think Friday, and I think a little later in the day. I've been rushing through edits, sometimes rushing through content, just trying to hit those, and it's the morning and where I've been placing it in the week. So we're going to be changing that. Watch for a change in the posting schedule, but we're still at least going to do 2 videos and some random shorts throughout the week. So again, drop us your comments. Let us know your questions, anything we can help with you and your teenager. Thanks.